Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Corporate Law Updates by Corporate Law Journal. This is Akansha Pandey, and today we'll be discussing some latest updates by SEBI, MCA, and IBPI. Let's start this episode by discussing last week updates from SEBI. On 24th August, SEBI released a master circular enabling the industry and the users to have access to all the relevant circulars at one place. It has incorporated all the circulars issued up to 31st March 2020, including the circular issued on 23rd March that deals with temporary relaxations with regard to certain compliance requirements of mutual funds in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. Also, it will supersede the master circular dated on July 10th, 2018. Now, this master circular will be applicable to all mutual funds, asset management companies, trustee companies, board of trustees of mutual funds, registrar and transfer agents, and the Association of Mutual Funds in India. On 26th August, SEBI released another circular. SEBI, on the review of COVID-19 pandemic situation, has decided that the regulatory measures that have been introduced via the press release dated 20th March 2020 shall continue to remain in force until 24th September 2020. Further, the stock exchanges and the clearing corporations will issue necessary instructions to the market participants in this regard. SEBI on 27th of August released a circular regarding procedural guidelines for the proxy advisors and the extension of implementation timeline. Now, this circular is applicable to all registered SEBI and proxy advisors. SEBI has earlier issued procedural guidelines for proxy advisors via a circular dated August 3rd, 2020. The provisions of that circular were to be applicable from September 1st, 2020. However, after taking into consideration requests received from the registered proxy advisors and the prevailing business and market conditions due to COVID-19 pandemic, it was declared to extend the timeline for compliance with the requirements of SEBI circular of 3rd August 2020 by 4 months. Accordingly, the provisions of this circular will now be applicable from 1st January 2021. Coming to the last circular issued by SEBI regarding execution of power of attorney by the client in favor of stockbroker or stockbroker and depository participants. Now, this circular will be applicable from 1st November 2020. SEBI had earlier issued a circular on 23rd April 2010, according to which it had laid down the guidelines for execution of power of attorney by the clients in favor of stockbroker or stockbroker and depository participants. This circular also provided for restrictions that were placed on stockbrokers with regard to the activities that can be undertaken by them. For instance, execute trades in the name of clients without the client's consent and transfer of securities for off-market trades. However, it was observed that the POA is invariably obtained from the investors as a part of the KYC and the account opening process. Such a POA executed by the clients was further found to have been misused by the stockbrokers by taking authorization even for the restricted activities. In this regard, it is reinitiated that POA is optional and should not be insisted upon by the stockbroker or depository participant at the time of opening the account of the client. Power of attorney should only be utilized for the following purposes: for the transfer of securities held in the beneficial owner's accounts of the client towards stock exchange related deliveries or settlement obligations arising out of the trades executed by the clients on the stock exchange through the same stockbroker, or for pledging or repledging of securities in favor of trading member or clearing member for the purpose of meeting margin requirements of the clients. It has also been decided that all off-market transfer of securities shall be permitted by the depositories only by the execution of physical delivery instruction slip duly signed by the client himself or by the electronic DIS. Also, depositories shall put in place a system of obtaining clients' consent through one-time password for such off-market transfer of securities from clients' demat account. Further, stock exchanges and depositories are directed to make necessary amendments to the relevant bylaws, rules, and regulations for the implementation of above decision, to bring the provisions of this circular to the notice of their members or participants and also disseminate the same on their website, and to communicate to SEBI the status of implementation of the provisions of this circular in their monthly report. Now moving on to some updates from Ministry of Corporate Affairs. On 25th of August, MCA released a notification through which it widened the scope of CSR activities by amending Item 9 of Schedule 7 of the Companies Act 2013 to include more entities like Ministry of Ayush and etc., which are engaged in research and development. Now, contribution to such entities shall be treated as contribution for corporate social responsibility, that is CSR activities, as required under Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013. Further, MCA has issued the company's Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Amendment Rules 2020 on 24th of August 2020 and has notified that any company engaged in research and development activities of new vaccine, drugs, or medical devices in their normal course of business may undertake research and development activity of new vaccine, drugs, and medical devices related to COVID 19 for the financial year of 2021 and 2021 to 22 and 2022 to 23, subject to the prescribed conditions. On 26th of August, MCA notified everyone about the challenges being faced by the corporate world due to the coronavirus pandemic. The due date of the audit and income tax filing has been extended till November 2020. MCA, through a notice on 28 April 2020, has given extension of time for holding AGM to those companies whose financial year ended on 31st December 2019. Further, through a notice dated May 5, 2020, it has allowed the companies to conduct AGM through video conferencing or other audio-visual means during the calendar year of 2020. Now, due to the present situation, it may not be possible for every company to apply for the extension of annual general meeting, because of which the above steps are taken. On 26th of August, MCA proposed amendment to Section 137 Subclause 1 of Companies Act, enabling filing of financial statements within 60 days. Now earlier, this reference was made in a letter dated 3rd February 2020 regarding the provisions of Section 137 and Section 92 of Companies Act for filing financial statements and annual return by every company with the registrar within 30 days and 60 days respectively from the date of AGM. The provision of Section 137 Subclause 1 of the Companies Act requires filing of financial statements within 30 days of annual general meeting, which may be considered for amendment by prescribing a period of 60 days for such filing, aligning it with the due date of filing of annual return. Now coming to the last circular issued by MCA on 26th of August. MCA notified two major amendments regarding CSR provision in Companies Amendment Act 2019 and its monitoring. That is, the transfer of unspent CSR amount to escrow account and the fund specified in Schedule 7. It was proposed that the CSR compilation certificate by an independent professional should be introduced, which should cover all aspects of CSR provision as provided under the Acts and rules. Now moving on to the last segment of this episode. IBBI has invited applications for empanelment of platforms for distressed assets. IBBI proposed the empanelment of the platforms for distressed assets that the IPs can leverage to improve their performance and compliance. The empaneled platforms will allow platform providers to get themselves empaneled, and the services covered by it will be published on the IBBI website. The PDAs are required to provide the following service platforms. Firstly, a marketplace for the interim finance, a virtual data room for invitation and resolution plans or liquidation, invitation and evolution of resolution plans, and finally, an auction during the liquidation. Now, the qualification criteria for the applicants is as follows. A company which is registered in India and operating for a period of 5 years. It should be consistently profitable in last 3 years. At least one of the service which is available should be at commercial basis. The accreditation to management and information security management system should be available. Now moving on to the second update from IBBI. IBBI released a discussion paper on liquidation. two issues determining the corpus of liquidation state and the entitlement of stakeholders under Section 53 of the Code have been presented in this discussion paper for facilitating public discussion and their comments on these issues which need a de novo examination and consequent changes in the regulation. Now, this discussion paper deals with two issues. Firstly, the assignment of not readily realizable assets, and secondly, assignment of claims and interest. IBBI has invited public comments on specific 6 set of questions. Now, these comments can be submitted through the website of IBBI. Now, moving to the last update for this session. IBBI has issued guidelines on use of caveats, limitations, and disclaimers by the registered valuers in valuation of reports. These guidelines provide guidance to the RVs in the use of caveats, limitations, and disclaimers in the interest of credibility of valuation reports. The guidelines are issued under Rule 14 Subclause 1 of Companies Registered Valuers and Valuation Rules 2017. The guidelines illustrate need of caveats, limitations, and disclaimers in evaluation reports, provides guidance notes on their use, and third list provides illustrative list of caveats, limitations, and disclaimers for each asset class provided in the rules. All these guidelines have been prepared in consultations with RVOs. That is it for today's episode, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with more latest updates from the corporate world.